Okay. All right, and we are live. Shane, Scoop, Brandon, and myself, Robert. We're going to make this a tradition. For every game that's not worth talking about, I'm just going to have one question, ask you guys the question, and we move on to the movie, in this case, the movie, and we're done with the show. Because I have no patience to talk about this game. You guys are trying to guess what the one question is. Do you guys want to guess what it is? Do you want to
something related to Pete Carroll? I'm guessing.
Something related there.
I have a guess.
Yeah. So it's not Cowboys related, because guess what? We're going to talk about the Cowboys for weeks and weeks. We're not going to get a chance to talk about the Raiders again until the offseason. I would hope so. I'm gonna take you guys through the Raiders offseason really quick, right? Tom Brady officially comes in as a minority owner. He has a say in what they're going to do at quarterback, what they're going to do in head coach, all of these things, right? And then the Raiders say, all right, let's go get Pete Carroll, legendary coach, a veteran, help us kind of stir this ship. Then they say, not only that, let's hire Chip Kelly as our offensive coordinator. So that was like right after that, like in February.
Mistake number one.
And then you trade a third-round pick. I think this was a 2025 third, if I'm not mistaken, or 26 third. Yeah, it was a 25 third. 2025 third-round pick, who I'm not sure who it was. I don't remember. To get Geno. And then you make all these other random moves. You don't really address quarterback that, or you don't address your future there. You draft Ashton Jeanty at 7. And I guess hindsight's 2020. This team looks awful. And I guess there's multiple questions in one. One, why did you draft Ashton Jeanty if you're not planning to use him?
If you don't have the O-line for him to run behind.
Yeah, they didn't do anything with the offensive line pretty much in the offseason except Jackson Powers-Johnson,
which is why I hated that pick.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't been amazing. And then let's see. And then by the way, Ashton Jeanty, 6 carries for 7 yards. Whoop whoop. Jesus Christ. So bad offensive line. I guess the moral is like hindsight 2020. All of these moves sounded pretty stupid, but I think the dumbest, as Shane alluded to, is, I guess this is kind of the antithesis of my question. If you bring in Chip Kelly and you tell him, hey, I'm going to grab Ashton Jeanty for you, and Geno Smith, and this is what you do with the offense, and then on top of that, Chip Kelly and Geno Smith do not work together at all, because Geno ain't a running quarterback, Shane. The more we get past this, because we're in week 11, the more we get past what the Raiders offseason was, like we're now in the middle of their season, the more perplexing all these moves seem altogether, hindsight being 2020 here.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, not only Geno Smith and Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll don't work together. I mean, that's just bizarre in and of itself. I mean, I didn't mind the Pete Carroll signing. I thought the Geno trade was fine. All things considered. However, Pete Carroll or Chip Kelly never understood that. And with Ashton Jeanty, I mean, this was my fear with him. Is like, obviously, yes, he's very talented, but and I said this from the beginning. It's like when you don't have the offensive line in front of him, you're just setting him up for failure. And it's no fault of his. It's just, I mean, he's just kind of a rock in a hard place. So, and this, this is why when you look at teams that are poorly run, bad ownership, whatever, this is what separates them from the elites in this league. Is the good owners know that the game is won and lost in the trenches. And that's where they build, or at least they try to, right? But so often we see teams like the Raiders, the Bengals, the Jets drafting skill guys and flashy pieces. That's not what wins you games in football at any level. So, that's, and I mean, the Raiders are just showing us once again why they're a bottom feeder year to year. I am surprised. I mean, I didn't think the Raiders would be amazing, but I am surprised that they're 2-8. I figured they'd be a little better than that. I mean, on paper they certainly should be, but I think it's just the combination of. I mean, the team right now kind of feels like senior center, Seattle Seahawks with like past his prime Geno, past his prime Lockett, past his prime Jamal Adams. They got Stone Forsythe starting at left tackle. Seriously, that's like
that's the best he can do.
I mean, Geno's probably having Vietnam flashbacks in the pocket back there. Just so yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think I mean, there's a lot of things they need to do. I don't think firing Pete Carroll is the solution, and taking that a step further, there's been talks that Mark Davis wants Chip Kelly to take over as the head coach, which is beyond me. You guys remember?
Brandon is having Eagles flashbacks.
Did we learn nothing? Did we learn nothing the first time?
I mean, it's
or the second time when he went 2-14 with the Niners.
Oh my God, but
yeah, and then
I forgot he was on the Niners. Oh shit!
He either took over for Jim Tomsula or he coached right before him.
I think I don't remember. Really quick, can I read you guys the Geno Smith contract?
Sure, I want to laugh tonight.
Here was the extension that he signed with the Raiders. 2 years, $75 million, 66.5 guaranteed. The annual salary, an average annual salary of $37.5 million. They have a potential out in 2027. The dead cap hit this year if they were to cut him. Not that they're going to cut him this year. The dead cap is 58.51. And then the dead cap next year is 18.5. So they're basically stuck with him next year at a base salary of $26.5 million. Have fun. Have fun. Yikes. Scoop, do you want to go off that with that?
Where do I begin? First and foremost, I mean, obviously I agree with a lot of what Shane said. I've said, Brandon's heard me say on WTS about the fact that Ashton Jeanty I thought was a bad pick in that first round because of the fact that they were going to have no protection around him. And obviously, I mean, you see professional running backs who can't do jack nothing without an offensive line, let alone a guy who's going to be, hasn't gotten his beak wet in the NFL yet. So but it just felt like, I mean, people talk about this being a confusing Raiders offseason. To me, this is an entirely on-brand Raiders offseason. They went for the biggest name possible in every single space. They brought in the Tom Brady. They brought in the Chip Kelly. They brought in the Pete Carroll. They brought in all the names. They basically, it's like what we talk about with the Baltimore defense. There's a lot of names there, but is there a lot of talent there? That's how I feel about the way.
It's just how it's the Vegas lifestyle, is it not? Just get names that are way past their prime and go get drunk.
But I mean, we're talking about going back. I'm thinking back to when they brought in Mike Mayock to run the front office. I'm thinking.
Oh my God! Ugh.
I'm thinking back. I'm thinking back to when they. I mean, this wasn't that long ago, but to when they brought in Josh McDaniels as head coach. Like it's. I can't think of it.
Did the John Gruden era work well for you? No, it did not. Anyway, continue, Scoop.
Quite honestly, I honestly forgot
I
that
mean, it was
existed.
better than most of the other stuff they had, but
True, but yeah,
But
we know what
if
happened.
if the bar were any lower, I would catch my foot on it. Um, but yeah, no, there's just no indication that they really. I didn't really think that this offseason was based on much of a. It didn't seem like it was based on much of a direction at all. Mark Davis doesn't seem like much of a direction guy. He seems like a guy that brings in the biggest name or the biggest ticket selling or the biggest not even reputable, but the biggest brand reputation that he can find, and
So
he
Brady.
assumed,
So
yeah.
Brady, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get more connected to it than that. But in terms of, and what if people said about whether it's football, baseball, about sports, it's not just about the 26 players or the 53 players. It's not just about the best players. It's about the right players. And, it's there is no cohesion whatsoever. There is no cohesiveness. There's no fluidity. It's just them throwing it all at a dartboard and seeing what's going to stick up there.
Yeah.
And which is par for the course with a lot of the teams that continue to shockingly find themselves in the bottom 7 or bottom 10, year after year after year. But do I go into what I thought you were going to say yet, or do I have to wait on that?
No, you can go for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
what I thought you were going to say was about the whole Pete Carroll to Chip Kelly transition thing. I thought that's where you were going to go with that, especially since you have 2 Eagles fans on the show and one of them being an Oregon fan. I'm
waiting for that piece with Brandon. But yes.
Yeah.
But again, Shane mentioned it, so you can continue about the fact that hey, Chip Kelly looks to be the head coach for this dang team.
So that's what I assumed your thing you were going to bring up was going to be, and I wouldn't believe it if this weren't the Raiders. And because it's the Raiders, I think it's entirely possible. Usually when you have a succession plan at head coach, usually it's not somebody who's as old as the coach himself. But again, usual and Mark Davis don't go hand in hand. So, it's just I look at what they have, and also, I mean, you guys talked about how style-wise, Kelly and Carroll don't go very well together, or style-wise, Smith and and Carroll don't go well, or either said Smith and Carroll or Smith and Kelly, I forget which. But personality-wise, I don't see how these 3 fit either. Chip Kelly was known for taking pretty much any big personality out of Philadelphia, expenses be damned, which was one of his biggest downfalls in Philadelphia. I still maintain that he was not a bad coach. It was the way he handled the 53 man that was his undoing. But that being said,
more or less, yeah.
Well, let me be fair. I'll put it this way. Not a bad offensive coach. Obviously, the problem with his offense was that they never were on the damn field, which is why he dropped the defense to 32.
Jeez, I forgot you guys were 32nd. Oh my god.
We weren't at first, but when you have your offense on the field 22 minutes a game and the defense on the field 38 minutes a game, that's what's going to happen.
Or hell, less than 22, Scoop. I feel like you were on the field for 12 most of that era.
I can barely even remember, to be honest. But that being said, I also kind of have repressed the memories of the whole Chip Kelly era. But that being said, coming back to present day, just none of that makes sense. So, and then you got Geno Smith in there, who, as far as what we know, and this may be different, but for a while he apparently was somewhat of of a big personality himself. Now that may be different now, but that was what was reported at one point.
When he was on the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, was that he rubbed some people the wrong way. I don't know if that's still the case. Obviously, guys can mature, but that was at least what we heard at one point. Now, Pete Carroll is known as a teacher's coach, works well with young guys and whatever. So
hell, he teaches a class at USC.
Yeah,
there you go.
So to be a guy who's known for working with young players and have a bunch of oldies on his team, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then you've got with, it just seems like so many weird fits, but it's not just tactic wise. It's personality wise. It's cultural wise. There's just so many elements of it that feel like you're putting, square peg in triangular hole. But again, it all comes about, it's, I can't think of many people or many sort of generational guys that have been polar opposites of one another than Al Davis and Mark Davis, because Al Davis as an owner Mark Davis is such a far cry from Al Davis as an owner. And, I do believe that they'll give Pete Carroll the balance of 2025, into 26. I don't remember exactly when the 18th week ends. But yeah, I do very much believe that, Chip Kelly is, if not automatically going to be the head coach next year, then at least is going to be kind of like the Freddie Kitchens in Cleveland, where he kind of is brought in as like the guy in waiting, and will at least get, every chance to interview and be prepared for the job next year.
Yeah, like a much lower level Gerard Mayo situation, except it's after 2 or 3 years instead of 10 to 15 or whatever the hell it was.
Possibly. But the other thing that I'll say is this. I don't even really understand why they felt the need to do that, because let's be honest. There are some pretty bad owners in the NFL. There are some pretty incompetent GMs in the NFL. Do we really think anybody was going to be a quote unquote threat to hire Chip Kelly as head coach this offseason?
Not only this offseason,
No.
any offseason moving forward.
Yeah, like I mean, in the FCS maybe, but
I mean, he's not a bad college coach. Not a great one anymore.
No, not at all. But I mean, even at UCLA for some of his numbers weren't all that good.
Oh no, UCLA, that was awful. Yeah. I have friends who went there and watched that whole era, so they didn't like it.
Did any of your friends play for him by chance? Because that would be amazing to get on this show.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
Oh, sorry, I took a while on that one.
No, it's fine. Do you have anything else, Scoop or Shane, before I go into Brandon's experience with Chip Kelly?
No, because I don't like popcorn, but I need to grab some popcorn for this one.
Shane, anything else?
I mean, no. Go ahead, Brandon.
Okay, Brandon, I need the full scope of this, because you lived it, and it might be worse. I mean, okay, here's the actual question: who's worse, Chip Kelly or Kevin Patullo?
I was hoping you would ask.
That's probably the first question we should get into.
Well, you know what's funny? Under Chip Kelly, we actually scored points. So under Kevin Patullo, we have not.
But Kelly also was at a higher level to be able to cause more damage. So,
the Chip Kelly era. Here's the problem: going from college to the NFL is hard for any coach. Doesn't matter what sport it is. But for football, I know Pete Carroll had his run with it. Nick Saban, kind of had a run with it, but then went back.
Pete Carroll, it took him forever to find his footing at UFC.
It took him a long time. Chip Kelly. Here's the thing with Chip Kelly's offense, with what it is now. It's it's one of those things where remember how we said when Pete Carroll left Seattle, and we said, oh, it felt like the game is passing him by. with his
Yeah.
style of coaching and preferred style of play. It's the same thing with Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly and the up-tempo offense he ran worked at Oregon. It was innovative for its time. And then when he brought it to Philly for those 3 years, I mean, that first year it was okay. It worked. It was Nick Foles. It was basically a run and gun type of offense.
Because no one in the NFL have seen it before. Because it was
Exactly.
just starting. Yeah.
It wasn't done before. You know, up until that point in the NFL, you only went up tempo when you had to hurry it up to try to tie the game late or whatever it was, get back in the game, things like that. You didn't go up tempo constantly. Philly at that point was the first team to do it every game. So in the first year, it worked. But then in year two, listen, they finished with the same record in year two. They finished 10-6, but it didn't look the same, and that was the year where a lot of things were strained. So you lost Deshaun Jackson that year. Your wide receiver one was Jeremy Maclin. You tried to turn Jeremy Maclin into your Deshaun Jackson. Doesn't work. Jeremy Maclin was great, but he wasn't Deshaun Jackson. You lose, you don't have a quarterback because Nick Foles was pretty much on his way out at that point, or was out. Then you move into this kind of weird area where you didn't have a quarterback, you didn't have a true wide receiver one, and you still had LaShawn McCoy, but he was on his way out because he got traded the year after, so it was his last year in Philadelphia. So you were trying to run things back the same way that you ran them back in 2013, and it did not work. And the thing is, you can't in the NFL. Yeah, I keep saying with Philly this year, I want to see more up tempo offense, but when you run up tempo offenses, when you have to go faster, it can't be every single drive. It can't be every down. It's not going to work. That's what Chip Kelly did every game for 3 years. It was quite literally, and that's why I keep saying the idea was innovative for college. It was innovative when he first brought it to Philadelphia. After those years between college and the first year in Philly, it was exposed for what it was, and it was never the same. And then on top of that, you make him drunk with power, and he's trading LaShawn McCoy away for a bag of chips, dismantling. I mean, listen. I didn't care for Michael Vick as other Eagles fans did. I liked Vick, but I didn't love him like every other Eagles fan does. Eagles fans are delusional when they say he was a good quarterback in Philadelphia when he had maybe 1.5 good years there, maybe 2. So I hate when people have these romantic feelings about Michael Vick because he was not that good. But then you break up that kind of team that has a great tight end, great offensive line, great running back, one of the dangerous deep threats in NFL history in Deshaun Jackson. A defense that was coming off of it was post Brian Dawkins era, but it was still Asante Samuel was there. Although he had been gone, I think, as Chip Kelly was on the way in. But you do all these things and here's the problem too. I understand what he wanted to do. I'm not saying I like the guy, but I understand what he wanted to do when he decided, hey, I'm going to trade away LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, even though that should have gotten fired immediately. You trade him away for Kiko Alonso because he's an Oregon guy that you coached. You go and draft Josh Huff. It was said that when Marcus Mariota came into the draft, he wanted Marcus Mariota.
I am of the belief that was the only way that was going to work.
Because he wanted to rebuild Oregon in Philadelphia. That's what he wanted to do. Which on paper that seems well and good because it worked. But here's the problem that he did not understand, which is a pretty simple explanation.
NFL is different.
Thank you. Because it's just, you can't do things the same way. You're not facing 18 to 22-year-olds. You are facing prime, 25 to 35-year-olds who are going to take your head off because the game is faster, stronger, and more physical. And the rules are slightly different. So it doesn't work. So
I believe that if he got Mariota at quarterback, like just that might have been
it
slightly
might
different.
have, but the thing is, but Josh Huff, really, like Josh Huff, that's what we're doing. That guy, the guy that had one highlight as an Eagle, and it was a 106-yard or something like that kick return for a touchdown against the Titans. That's the guy. But God, I remember that because it was his only highlight in Philadelphia. Just like Kiko Alonso's only highlight in Philadelphia was the one-handed pick against the Falcons. It's the only thing I remember because the guy was either hurt or garbage. So, like, and meanwhile, LaShawn McCoy proceeds to have like 2 or 3 more great seasons in Buffalo when he could have had them in Philadelphia. So
The snow god, by the way.
yeah, but like what makes me angry is just like, it's to give somebody like that, like he was Bill Belichick before Bill Belichick. So it's like in terms of like the GM and the head coach type thing. So
And then who was it? Who coaches at Boston College right now that also did it in Houston and brought in Brock Osweiler? Who the hell's that guy's name?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Yeah, remember when
yeah.
he traded DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips?
Oh, absolutely.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't. Your head coach and GM.
The Texans were also a dumpster fire for like from top to bottom. Like they had that like former like Monsignor guy who was in doing football stuff. Like it was so weird.
Yeah, but it's like even when they had success, literally it was short lived because Bill O'Brien destroyed it. So like
I remember when was Bill O'Brien still there when they paid Brock Osweiler that like gazillion amounts of money?
I think.
Yeah, I remember the story.
I'll look it up.
That they brought him in for a visit. He didn't even like really work out or anything. They just brought him in for a visit, sat him down, and said, "Hey, we'd like to have you sign the contract."
Look at how goofy he looks. Look at this. Like, what is that? But like, listen. Wow, I zoomed in way too far in his face. But like, I don't understand making for any situation. For Bill Belichick, it didn't work. Bill O'Brien doesn't work. Chip Kelly didn't work. Was the first one to do that. It's like, Chip Kelly is like the poster child for what not to do with a head coach in the NFL. Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. So like, when you look at the Raiders now, getting back to this whole point about how the Raiders.
Can I pause you really quick?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen this. So he's the head coach at Boston College right now. Bill O'Brien is. Do you guys know what their record is?
Oh boy,
I'm gonna guess like 1-5.
How
many weeks have we played?
Like 12, I think. Well, 12. Yeah, they played 12 games.
Yeah, we got 2 more weeks, I think.
My bad.
Yeah.
Like I'll say 3-9.
Anyone else?
I don't know.
I think they have 2 more weeks, so I'll say like 1-10.
They're 1-10. And by the way, they're 0-7 in the ACC.
Oh my god! I mean, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Boston College has never been that bad. Even when they've been bad, they've never been that bad. So like, Jesus.
It's funny because, I mean, aside from the general managing part, I didn't think he was that bad in Houston. Like,
no,
yeah,
I
didn't hate him.
So, yeah.
But that's
I mean,
the
I didn't think he was amazing, but like, I thought he was fine. As a coach, not as a GM.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing though. It's like, doesn't that seem like the dumb? I mean, listen, on paper that might seem well and good to make. Hey, your head coach knows what he wants, and if he has a good, like a good first year, hey, maybe we do make him the GM so he can pick out what he wants for his team. Here's the problem: he's in charge of a whole roster and doesn't understand how contracts work and how trading works.
Budgeting.
Budgeting. Also doesn't understand. Also, these coaches are either offensive or defensive. So one side of the ball is going to suffer versus a GM who has to oversee all of it. So it doesn't work. So it's just like the Chip Kelly Philadelphia thing did not work because it was stupid. Even though the thought process was kind of having a good idea, just didn't it wasn't thought through. And then it's like same thing, with Bill O'Brien. Same thing with with the Chip Kelly thing. Like all those things are just same thing with Belichick. It just doesn't work. You can't do it that way. You have to. The best head coaches are the ones that have to do the least to have to control. Because when you start spreading your staff or just your head coach too thin, bad things happen. So like I can't stand it when the Raiders now are considering this because you're setting yourself. I mean, listen, you can't go any lower than this because this is. But Chip Kelly is lower than Pete Carroll. It'd be pretty hard to get any lower than that. It's crazy how you have them on the same staff. Good job, Vegas. But
Raiders fans are more excited for the F1 race this weekend than watching the Raiders.
I would be too.
I'm way more excited for the F1 race than I was for the game tonight.
Honestly, outside, I mean, Ashton Genty's had a rough year, but that's not his fault. But outside, but an actual impact out of all the impact players on the Raiders, which there's not many anyway, the only guy you're going to want to watch is Brock Bowers.
By the way,
Max Crosby.
And Crosby.
Yeah, defensively.
Speaking of that, they've been challenged, like Trey Tucker, and I think some of the staff, including Chip Kelly, has been telling Trey Tucker, hey, be our number one. Go and get it.
But it's not.
Trey Tucker, what are we doing?
No, well, here's the thing. If Chip Kelly is telling a guy if he is instilling confidence in a guy who's a wide receiver 3 at best, what did I just say? It's the same guy that went and got Josh Huff, who was garbage. What? This is the same guy that during his tenure employed, I don't know, Dorial Green Beckham. Why is anybody listening to Chip Kelly? Why is that guy still getting paid to do anything football related? Why?
I could say that about the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my god! This is so god awful.
Bro, I didn't get a word of that.
I know.
He said it was god awful.
I can't
Okay, I couldn't understand.
I seriously I would love it if at some point then I would be happy for the Raiders and Raiders fans. I'll throw them a party when they fire Chip Kelly.
We'll do a party on the show. We'll buy a cake.
Listen. I was celebrating when he got tossed out of Philadelphia. I will celebrate again when he gets tossed out of the Raiders. Problem is, it probably won't be until after next year because they think for some god awful reason that he might be better than Pete Carroll. On what planet has he ever been better than Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll is a national champion and a Super Bowl winner.
Yes,
and few coaches to do that.
I don't know in what possible way, as somebody who didn't give up on Chip Kelly as fast as other Eagles fans did, I don't know in what possible way they could. What the hell was that?
Me.
Oh, I don't know in what possible way they could look at the two resumes and think, and the two styles, and think that, because here's the thing: if you really thought that Chip Kelly was for some reason better than Pete Carroll, why is he not coaching him or coaching them now?
Because they're scared. Because they're scared. They're scared of the pushback to hire him.
Did I mix up my
now all of a sudden they're scared of pushback after the 14 moves they've made in the last 4 years regarding personnel, where each one was more ridiculous than the last. Now they're scared of pushback?
Yeah.
I need to see something here.
Little late for that.
Did I accidentally mix up I might have.
I mean,
Because I got lost in the transition between Chip Kelly and Doug Peterson because Dorial Green Beckham was somewhere in the middle there. Regardless, it's still a product. It's still residue from the Chip Kelly era. So I don't care.
DGB was one of the will go down as one of the worst players on Philly of my life.
I mean, that's another problem too in the NFL that we can talk about for years. Is like for years on end is why, for some reason, people think that the bigger the wide receiver, like at that point in time, the bigger the wide receiver, the better. Like, oh, this guy's
you guys remember Kelvin Benjamin? He transitioned to tight end and like flamed out.
Yeah, Mister. Oh, he's one Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end. Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
and then they moved him to tight end, and it didn't work.
Like
you know what I really wished, because whenever I think of Kelvin Benjamin, I think about this. I really wished we saw a season of Tim Tebow at tight end. I'm pissed we never got to see it. Would it have been good? Would it have been good? Absolutely not. Would it have been fun?
Want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to. When they tried to do that, he said, it was gimmicky, like that he was getting played, like not in a good way, like played out. Like,
we saw one preseason game of him at tight end, and that was enough for us all to go, yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Well, what was really funny
was that? When was the preseason?
It was like 2016, I think.
No, it was Tebow? No, it was 21. Because it was Trevor Lawrence's rookie year.
Yeah.
Was it Jacksonville?
Urban Meyer was there.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
My bad. For some reason, I thought it was right after he had that offseason or preseason in Philly.
I remember there was these. I'm sorry to interrupt, Scoop. I remember when I was a kid. I could be remembering it wrong. They had a protest outside Jacksonville's facility saying "Make Jacksonville Christian again." Sign Tim Tebow.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now, see, here's the thing. I knew the Jags were cooked with Urban Meyer the second that happened. You know, you get a guy who's been out of the league for 5 years, never played tight end in his life, and you said,
played baseball since then.
Yeah, failed baseball since. Yeah, right. And then
he was actually better minor league baseball player for the Mets than he was playing for the last 3 teams he was with in the NFL.
How was he in the minors on the Mets? Was he like any good?
He had his moments.
Yeah,
he was all right.
He wasn't bad for being a 31-year-old who hadn't played baseball in a decade. Who, you know, what I will say is I do understand, because there was some consternation about people saying he's taking a spot from, you know, somebody else who's worked, you know, forever to get one thing or another. I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you can't beat out a guy who hasn't played baseball in a decade, then I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure how much you deserve that spot.
Yeah.
Oh. And also, it's the Mets. That bar is very, very low. Very low.
Yeah, but like, I mean, he did hit a couple homers. He did make a couple nice plays in left field. The bar was Michael Jordan. He at least cleared that bar.
Oh yeah, was Michael that bad with the White Sox? I forget.
Yes,
Michael was. He wasn't even a White Sox. He was a Birmingham Baron.
Which was, I think there was either double A or single A.
Something like that, yeah. And he wasn't. And he wasn't. And it's funny because remember, Michael Jordan always said that baseball was his first love. Yeah, thank God he stuck with basketball. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah,
that love seems to be pretty unrequited.
I can ask a stupid question.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Shane. When was Howie Roseman hired in Philly?
Like hired as in like for the first time ever?
Yeah, like wasn't he like an intern?
Wasn't he like an intern? Like
Did he like go up the ladder or something? Like
he started as an intern in 2000, and then he became GM for the first time in 2010. Then he got moved out of the office that brief period of time when Chip Kelly took over.
He booted him for Chip Kelly.
Yeah, and then he took over again when Kelly was moved out, and obviously never looked back.
Oh my God! I remember the day they booted Chip Kelly back out of that office and gave it back to Howie Roseman. I was like, "Good, fuck you." Like, I was like, get out of my goddamn team, please.
Chip Kelly was such a fixture in your life, Brandon, going from Oregon to Philly and everything.
Oh my God.
Did you like him at Oregon?
Because it worked at Oregon. That's the problem. Is that he got us to a national title game, but like the problem is that like what works in college. And here's the thing: the only time I was ever happy to see Chip Kelly associated with the Eagles was when he got the job, because things had ended so bad in Philadelphia between the Eagles and Andy Reid. 12-year-old me, not understanding what was to come, was like, oh, it can't be worse than Andy Reid. No, it got worse.
And Andy Reid won a few Super Bowls since then.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, it worked out for both sides because it's history. If we didn't struggle through the Chip Kelly era, like there's some Eagles fans. Listen, I still hate Chip Kelly, but I don't harbor like the resentment like that some Eagles fans. Like there's Eagles fans in the comments talking about like games that happened in 2025 and saying, oh, this is our our second Super Bowl win, but it should be our like third if Chip Kelly didn't exist. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You can't play those broken timeline games. You have no idea.
You guys might have better memory of this than I do. I saw this really weird congregation the last couple of days of people saying that Andy Reid should be fired or retire from the Chiefs right now, like today, because they're saying this is like the Eagles. When he now that he's 5-5, it's like the end of the Eagles run, and I'm like, it's not even close.
It's not even close. It's not even close because what happened in Philly was he wasn't involved in the decision making. He wasn't as involved in the decision making process as he was in Kansas City. He was strictly the head coach in Philadelphia. In KC, he has more pull with the GM. He has obviously been around the block a lot longer. So when he got to Kansas City, he also inherited a veteran team. When he took the Eagles job, that was not a veteran team. That was a rookie Donovan McNabb. That was a bunch of crappy receivers.
When he got my apologies, Brandon. When he got to Kansas City, he had a pretty nice team that could make the divisional round, led by Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they had just picked up. And they just had the first overall pick that year when they.
Yeah.
2013. When they bizarrely went Eric Fisher at number 1 over Luke Jokel. And even Luke Jokel was terrible. Shane, do you remember Luke Jokel as a Seahawk?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, he was terrible.
I don't even remember.
That's probably why Shane don't remember.
What's amazing? Eric Fisher stayed on Kansas City. Is he still there?
I think he retired.
He might have retired.
But
he stayed there for a very long time.
What is he doing now?
Eric Fisher retired in 22.
Yeah, but he was a fixture he was their left tackle. He was their starting left tackle.
He wasn't any good.
He wasn't any good. I mean, he was a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I voted for him in a year where I shouldn't have, just because I knew his name and I didn't know. Back then I didn't know who offensive lineman by name as I do now. He was just a name. But he actually wasn't that good. Yeah, that was just, listen. I hate when people wait, Rob, is this Chiefs fans saying that they should fire Chip? Oh God, if they should fire Andy Reid now? Who's saying that?
There's a congregation. I saw this on Twitter that there's a congregation of Chiefs fans saying that this reminds them of Philly Andy Reid towards the end, and that Andy Reid should retire before it gets too late. I was like, wow, relax, people. But
it's two completely different things, because he didn't. The problem was fans were fed up from all the choking in Philly during the championship years. They were fed up from that. They were fed up that the team was basically getting older, getting towards the end. McNabb was going to leave. Dawkins left. Those guys were Brian Westbrook way gone. All these guys, it was transitioning into a new era. So they had to pretty much rebuild the Eagles, and it didn't work. And then by the end of it, Andy Reid kind of was just, it was time. It was time for the Eagles to move on. There was nothing left to do there.
And as we just talked about, he got to a better place in Kansas City immediately, right away.
Right. Well, but also I want to add Howie Roseman came in as the GM in 20. I think what did I just say 2010?
And
So yes. So the role that the role that Reed had the final 3 or so years as coach in the Eagles organization was not the role that he had for the first decade plus that he was there.
you know what it is too. But there's one parting gift that Andy Reid gave us on the way out. You know what that parting gift was?
I can think of a
Jason
couple,
Kelce?
but I don't know which one you're
was-
going for.
It was Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he still won it because he got his brother, who's also a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so like either way, Andy Reid still helped us in the long. Andy Reid is technically, if you want to say it like this, Andy Reid's a Super Bowl champion in two places, Philly and Kansas City. So,
But he's going into the Hall of Honor in both organizations.
Easily.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
I'd be interested to see who he thanks more in his Hall of Fame speech. That's what I'd be
The
interested
Chiefs,
in.
come on.
The Chiefs,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's where all 3 of his could be more than 3 in the long run, but for now, 3
yeah,
his rings
but,
came from,
But didn't Dick Vermeil go in? But didn't he thank the Eagles fans more than he thanked the Rams fans? Like
I think it was an even split. I can't remember.
like he, at least I think from what I remember, there was a bigger Eagles congregation there for Dick Vermeil than there was Rams fans. Well, the Rams don't have any fans, so who cares?
Can I say something also really stupid about the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
Because I've thought about this for the last 3 or so years. So one of the things that I want to do in the future of the show is go to the Hall of Fame, like go on the week of congregation for like Tom Brady. I really want to go see. Like a lot of the guys we grew up with, right?
Oh yeah, I won't miss Jason Kelce. I won't miss that.
Yeah. So I want to like do a show like live from there. NFL Network, call us. I want to do this badly. I'm not joking.
That's not stupid. That's not stupid.
No. I'm getting to the stupid part. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm really scared about one retirement. One like Hall of Fame retirement. Can you guess who it is? Where I'm like deathly scared.
But why would you be scared? Is what I mean.
Yeah, wait. Scared how?
I'd be very scared.
But why?
Why?
Travis Kelce's. It's just going to be Swifties.
Oh Jesus!
It's just going to be Swifties at the back.
Oh,
so it's gonna, and I want to see his speech, but they're gonna be like, "You made it to the Hall of Fame because you married Taylor Swift." I'm like, he was amazing before that happened.
If anything, his play got worse. If anything, his play got worse after they started dating.
Yes. Oh, and I'm saying this as someone who has this on my wall.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you're saying that as the only other guy out here who likes Taylor Swift other than me.
Yes, and by the way, I'm a Taylor Swift fan who's scared of insanely hardcore Swifties. They scare the shit out of me.
Same.
They scare the crap out of me. So they're gonna be like, Travis, you made it because of Taylor. I'm like, literally, we're gonna have people there just because of Taylor Swift, just to find her in the crowd and be like, bro, I care about his career. I love him as a player.
I really hope by that point the marriage dissolves. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. That'd be
God. Bro, you better hope Nicole's not watching this show right now.
Oh, it's fine. She can yell at me later. But like,
I've been scared of that since they started dating. I was telling my Swiftie friends who know a little bit about football, I was like, you don't realize how scary that's going to be. I feel like I'm going to get trampled. Just trying to save the audience.
I pray to God their marriage lasts as long as the Chris Humphries marriage to Kim Kardashian. What was it? Which Kardashian did he marry? I can't remember at this point.
Well, I think it might have been Khloe. It was Khloe. And it ended up being just for publicity at the end. Yeah.
Like most
of the things. That's exactly what I'm hoping this is. Be done with it. And then
have you seen that ring? That's not publicity.
Yeah, no.
It could. Listen, you got as much money as they do combined? Who the hell knows?
Okay. Since we talked about Eric Fisher and bad offensive linemen, Shane, what do you look for in an offensive lineman? Like, what's your key pillars?
This sounds like a dating app. What are you looking for in an offensive?
New dating app idea. OLinemanDating.com. I'm going to make that into a T-shirt. That's going to be our website.
That should be the future of NFL scouting. Just swiping on the top prospects you
found
like.
a great.
O-line date.
Do you realize like every bio on that site's going to be? Do you need your tush pushed?
Do you need your tush pushed?
It's gonna be if it's a thing. That's what'll be on there. It's exactly what'll be on there.
It's even better because Jason met his wife on Tinder. So. OLineDating.com. That should be the slogan. Do you need your tush pushed? Sponsored by Dude Wipes. By the
way, why Dude Wipes?
Okay, wait.
He references it all the time. I can't even say the word tush push anymore because he ends it with that.
Wait. Do you guys not know? Shane, do you not know about this? Do you guys not know about
this?
Okay, so the Eagles signed a deal with Dude Wipes so that Dude Wipes could sponsor the tush push.
How do you sponsor a play?
I don't know. But after the play got accepted, I think this was late July or August, they made an announcement saying the play is now sponsored by Dude Wipes.
No wonder the play doesn't work anymore. They tainted it with their branding.
I vaguely remember this, but I also don't at the same time.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, so Shane, what do you look for on OLinemanDating.com? Shane. Okay, what do you look for in an offensive lineman?
It depends on. Here.
I know it depends on position, but you can go position by position.
It depends on. Okay, well, tackle is where you want the tallest
Shane,
guy.
You better aggregate this whole thing. By the way, you better aggregate this O-lineman dating thing and put it up.
No.
All right, continue.
Tackle, that's where you want your tallest guy on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And then guard is where you want your heaviest. And center is where you want your smartest. That's the general overview, if you will. But, so for tackles, you definitely want somebody who has height because, height and agility. Because oftentimes he's kind of out on an island by himself in pass pro. And he's going up against the end who's usually a little faster than, a nose tackle or a, interior D lineman. So he's got to have the length to contain him and the agility to kind of keep up with him, so to speak. And for guard, a lot of times it's just like, can you just take up space? That's why usually guards are the heaviest. And for center, center is hard mentally because you're the one who's calling, audibles and pass blocking or just protection in general. You're the one that you get up to the line, you look around and you're saying, okay, Lobo, or Rich, whatever it is. And so Scoop.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I also don't know what
I've heard it. I've heard it be yelled
out. They're protections. We'll get into that later.
We can do that another time.
No loss.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I'm
found your
assuming.
next. You found your next whiteboard segment.
Well, wait. Am I on the right track of thinking that when you're saying Lobo and Rich, that's left and right, so slide left, slide right?
Bingo. Yeah.
Ah.
Anything that's L is left, R is right. So there's Lobo and Rio are the same thing, but opposite, left, right. Lobo, Rio, because they're both Spanish words. And then there's Lich and Rich. There's Lice and Rice. What else is there? I don't know. I have to think about it, but I'm not a lineman. No, so that's that's the main thing. And then yeah, and then of course just, can you hold the guy without actually, committing the holding penalty. And that just comes with good technique, with your footwork, mostly, and also kind of like hand placement. Are you trying to go low and get it like underneath the shoulder pads, or are you just going at his shoulders or something? Because that's not going to do anything, and you're just going to hold. So yeah, our offensive lineman, our offensive line coach, who was an NFL lineman. Dude's really good. The thing he always tells linemen in practice is he says, grab the titties, because he always says grab his titty, because that's like, which, it's not the most PG thing, but like that's where you want to go, because that's your biggest target, and that's where you can get more leverage. So yeah, that's more or less what I kind of look for. And you generally see that around the league. It's like,
Excuse me.
the height of the line, it's like it goes like this,
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, you can look at Jason Kelsey, dude was only like 6'2", 290. Like, it's not huge, relatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, Jordan Mailata's 6'8", 350.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
massive. Yeah.
and same with Lane Johnson. He's 6'6". So know.
Is it kind of similar, like comparatively speaking, like Shane? Like, I know that obviously 3-4 versus 4-3 makes a differentiation and such, but like, is it kind of similar on the defense, like comparatively on the defensive side? Like, do you have like your defensive ends? I assume that they're mostly more kind of similar to the left tackle and right tackle. I imagine that the nose or the middle ends, or I'm sorry, the middle tackles, excuse me, would match up with the guards, etc.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I mean, it's a lot of times too. Like, a lot of defensive ends are even like almost look more like linebackers than they do like tackles, like offensive tackles. Just because coaches want guys that can have speed to, explode around the edge and go for the quarterback. I mean, on my team, our leading, our sack leader, was a kid who's, he's like 6 foot, 225, but he's certainly not our biggest guy, but he's just strong as hell, and he's quick, and so it's tackles just couldn't keep up with him because he'd get you going like he's taking the inside and then just, and then switch it up on you. And
you would have those type of guys play coverage sometimes too, depending on the situation, right?
yeah, sometimes. I mean, it depends obviously on the play and the personnel there and whatnot. I mean, in high school you see a lot of like 12 and 22, 13 personnel. So it's just a lot of kind of condensed formations, but
and the end versus linebacker thing is kind of makes sense when I start thinking about, like, they say a 4-3. I forget, it's either a 4-3 linebacker matches up well as a 3-4 defensive end, or maybe I have it flipped, but
yeah, a 3-4 strong side linebacker is basically a defensive end.
Yeah, that.
So yeah. I mean,
right,
you look at Jared Verse, who we were talking about yesterday,
I can't stand him, but yes.
And there's T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons, they're all examples of that. So
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So a couple things on the Cowboys really quick. I know that Pickens and Lamb were not on the first drive of the game. We're not going to talk about that until I get more information, because right now they're not disclosing anything. So I'm not going to just blindly talk about something without knowing what the context is. It's just not proper journalism to just yell about this, even though I know every talk show in the country is going to talk about it tomorrow without knowing anything. We're going to be responsible and not do that, because that sounds like a bad idea.
Yep.
And then also the Marshawn Nealon tributes. The shirts were amazing.
Yes.
By the way,
Yeah.
being real, that's one of the best like pure shirts I've ever seen. Like, I just thought the shirt was really well made, and of course the 988 on the back, just so cool to see. And then the pregame tributes were good as well.
Do we have a? I don't even know if Millions does it, but does it allow us to show a picture of it? Because maybe people.
Unfortunately, not. But I would highly recommend go search. It's everywhere online. You can find it. It's sick. I'm saying that in the best way possible. It is.
Yeah, of course.
It's such a good shirt. It is so good. But yeah,
you notice too that there were several instances where they showed it where like somebody would score or a big play would happen or whatever, and they'd show like a slow motion sideline and people would be like tapping their chest on his face.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Really cool stuff. So that's all I have on the Cowboys, because guess what? We're going to be talking about them next week, because they're going up against your guys' Eagles. We're going to talk about them again on Black Friday, because obviously they have a Thanksgiving game against Kansas City. So I was like, let's not go deep into them today, because there's no point. We're going to be doing it.
And that game for Philly is important, because that can already wrap up the NFC East.
Yeah, so that's a big one there. So I didn't want to go too depth into the horribleness that is the Dallas Cowboys on this show, when we can do it in next week and the week after for Black Friday. So is there anything else on this game, or do we want to move to the Wild Robot?
I would love to move on to some robotics.
Yes. Okay, let's do that.
The only show you'll find where we go from talking about a war movie last year to a robot.
Yes.
Last week.
Shane, I know you can say it yourself, but I know you were really surprised with how much you enjoyed this movie on your first watch. That's a huge reason why you picked it for this show. So I'll lead you to that.
Yeah. I said last week that I imagine this year I will give out 2 A's. This is the first one. I'll just say that up front. When I first, it's kind of funny. I'll give a little background on this. When I first saw this movie, it was so in the summer I do. Robert, you know this. I don't. Maybe I've told you guys about it too, but I do this thing where I go to parks with this guy named Phil, and we set up like a big movie screen and play a movie on a projector.
Yeah, outdoor
We
movies,
do-
like those outdoor movies that you see in the summer.
Yeah, we do about, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 a year. So
Show them Hacksaw Ridge.
Show 7-year-old kids
Yeah.
Hacksaw.
yeah, no kidding. So I was, I think it was like our second or third movie of the summer this year, I guess. And I said, "Well, what's the movie today?" "Oh, it's Wild Robot." I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever that is." I had no idea.
You didn't even know about the movie when it was coming out.
I probably like heard about it, but it just
I just heard it was
other.
I just heard it was really good because I
Yeah.
saw the reviews. All I heard was, "Oh my god, this is really good. You need to see it," and I just didn't get to it until anyway. Continue, Shane, because it's
Yeah.
part of your
No,
story.
so then I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll see, So it plays, and I was like, wow, that was amazing. And so then about a month later, they were doing that movie again, and Robert and I happened to be hanging out, and
we were doing AWA. We were doing wiffle ball.
oh yeah, we were doing wiffle ball, yeah, and so I said, yeah, they're doing Phil's doing a movie tonight. It's Wild Robot, and Robert's like, well, we're gonna be out of here in time. Let's go. And I said,
Yeah.
all right, So
Because by the way, after Shane saw this, he knew that it was going to be on the list for this year. So that's why I was also waiting longer. But then when that happened, I was like, frick it, I'll see it twice. I don't care. I heard amazing things.
So then for my second viewing, Robert and I go to the park, watch it we watch it on a Little League baseball field, on a big screen. And I liked it just as much the second time. I noticed new and different things about it, and and now here we are.
Really quick, Shane, before you continue, you were telling me to try to guess like certain actors and what roles they played, and there's one that. Did you guys see who played who at the end or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Because
did you notice who played the bear?
Yeah, it's Mark Hamill.
It's Mark Hamill, and it makes no sense.
But you know why? That doesn't surprise me either, because if you look at his work as the Joker, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, it works. But I remember, when I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, okay, that's Lupita Nyong'o. Like I didn't know who was in it. I just was listening to it as it was going, and then
Pedro makes sense as the Fox. Duh.
Yeah, Fox shows up.
Like
he's
Pedro.
talking. I'm like, I'm like, okay, that's Pedro. That's and so on and so forth. But then the bear comes out. I'm like, who the hell is the bear? Like, I could not figure it out. And then the credits rolled, and it said Mark Hamill. I was like, are you?
But that's how much range he has as both an actor and a voice actor.
Right.
That's how.
No,
good he
yeah,
is.
he's incredible.
He's not just Luke Skywalker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, he's an incredible voice talent.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Joker, yeah.
Yeah.
He's much more.
Although he's great at both.
But, amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and so then when we were watching it, when I watched it that second time, Robert's first time, I was like, okay, Robert, I want you to try to figure out who Mark Hamill is. So he's like, okay.
Oh yeah, you phrased it like that, and I was like, okay.
And so then we get probably 2/3 of the way through the movie, and you're like, oh, it's the bear.
No. I was like, wait, because I was like, okay, that's Pedro, that's this. I was like, it's definitely not the youngin.
You kind of figured it out by by process of elimination.
Process of elimination. But still,
Yeah.
it's freaking weird.
Yeah, it's
No, it
different.
is,
Yeah.
but it works.
Okay, so why
Anyway.
why are you giving this your first day of the year? Why? And you said to me before, this is one of the best animated films you've seen in a very long time, and I agree.
Yeah, I think what I said was this is the best animated film we've had since Zootopia, which is ironically coming out. The second one's
Zootopia
coming
2.
out.
Yeah.
Right now. But
It's coming out next week.
And
It's coming out during Thanksgiving.
and there's a few reasons for that. I mean, we've had some great animated movies since then. I mean, we've had Coco and Encanto. Moana was great. What else? There's others. I'm
All these
blanking
movies,
at the
all
moment.
these movies are spoiled for me because the AI vids. They're all,
Yeah.
they're all spoiled for me.
But there's also been a lot of kind of unnecessary sequels in that time.
Yeah.
There's more coming. We got Shrek 5 in 2027.
Oh,
We
I
got
know.
Zootopia 2, which I don't know why we need
Well,
that.
I will say this: Shrek 5 is not a necessary sequel because they said from the very beginning there was always going to be 5 movies. So
Yeah, but why is Trek
I don't
4
care. I don't
called
like
the
it.
final chapter?
I don't know, but that's
No,
that's
it's Shrek Forever After.
Or Forever After? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
Forever After. By the way, that I always thought that movie was Trek has a concussion before I saw it. And I still think that after seeing the movie, I still believe that movie is about him having a concussion.
Yeah.
I know it's a spell movie,
Anyway.
but it totally feels like he has a concussion. That whole movie.
No. So what I like, first of all, I love the animation style. I think it works great for this particular story. I don't think this works for any animated movie, but for this one in particular, the way that I think it shows the contrast of the machine and the nature really well, and ultimately kind of the blending of the two as it goes along. It's incredibly well acted from top to bottom. Everybody shows a lot of range, even just through their voice.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to Scarlett Johansson, we were saying in her, it's like this is one of her best performances, even though it's just her voice. This is how I feel about Lupita Nyong'o in this as Roz. I think she is incredible at this. The change she has from the robotic, soulless AI Roz to more of a caring maternal figure while also still being a robot. Just the very subtle shift she has throughout the film is brilliant, I think. You notice it, but it's not too extreme that it's like unbelievable, right? Pedro has just he just adds so much soul to his character and just the film in general.
This is Pedro gets cast in everything, but I weirdly also think it's one of his best performances.
Is Pedro the new Nick Cage?
Yes. Moving on.
No, well, maybe, I don't know.
Not exactly, but yes.
I mean, because I don't know what he is. Pedro. Yeah, I don't like. Look,
like he's better. He's way better in this movie than he is in Fantastic Four, and I like him as Mr. Fantastic.
Or The Last of Us. Sorry, I don't want to go too deep into it, but there are some things like The Last of Us. I don't think he should have been in that or whatever. But this, I think he was the right choice.
Oh, 100%.
And I most of all, I really like the themes that are explored in this movie and the way that they go about it. Um, you know, it's a, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's interesting the way that they explore kind of, human nature without humans. I mean, it's, because there's that scene where they're all in the I don't know, the hut, I guess. I don't know what you call
Yeah.
it, but
It's
and
yeah, it would be called the hut. Yeah.
yeah, and he says, so can we all go against our programming because Roz is technically the one that's programmed because I mean she's a computer or a robot, whatever. But at the end of the day, like every species also has quote unquote programming in a way for survival for whatever. Um, and I just think it's interesting how it kind of, I mean, it's relevant right now with the rise of AI and just how those things kind of bridge together. But also, I think it's a great message on, motherhood, where, it's nobody knows exactly how to do it or just how to be a parent in general. You just kind of figure it out as you go. And there's, it's not like at the beginning she's like, okay, I must complete these tasks to make you ready to go. It's like, no, that's not how it works,
Yeah.
and
It weirdly
she,
sorry, go ahead, finish up,
I
Shane.
was going to say, and she learns that obviously as the film goes on, but
Yeah, it reminds me of this is a spoiler for Scoop, but it's fine. It reminds me of an Avengers Endgame where Tony's talking to his father and he's like, I was learning it as I went along and I just figured it out. It's kind of like the epitome of that, which I really
yeah,
like. Yeah.
yeah, um, and yeah, I think there were a lot of expectation subversions too, which can either be a good or a bad thing. In this case, it's done well, I would say. I mean, I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, it's an animated kids movie. Surely she's gonna stay on the island and they'll all live happily ever after. But
Mhm.
no, she makes the hard choice to leave to protect them, which is great because it's subverting expectations, but also it's a a kind of a character defining moment where she's going back now not because she's programmed to, but because she feels something and wants to protect these animals on this island, and she knows that in order to do so, that's what she has to do. I just think that's a beautiful character arc and a really great way to show that. And all the while, I mean, they managed to get quite a bit of humor in it as well. I mean, it's nothing that's like laugh out loud. Oh my god, I'm crying, funny, but it's good ways to like kind of get a chuckle here and there in the midst of kind of more serious, dramatic situations. Um, so like there's the whole running gag of the I forget Pedro's character, his
Fink.
name, but
Pinky.
what was it?
Fink.
Fink.
Fink. Yeah, thank you.
Fink, yeah.
I'm terrible with characters' names.
Have you
Like the
seen me
whole
on this
running,
show? Trust me, you're fun.
the whole running gag of like Fink wanting to eat this goose that Ross is trying to raise. It's just like it's just funny. But
Now I'm
yeah,
hungry.
no, I mean I I mean I love this movie. I think I mean, I think really the only downside is just that in the second and third viewings, knowing the ending made it beforehand. I mean, it made it a little less interesting just because like I knew where it was leading, but I still enjoy the journey and the process getting there and seeing how it all unfolds. So yeah, I mean, it's not a knock at all, really. It's just something I noticed. But overall, yeah, this is my first A of the year. So
Yeah. All right, Scoop, you also joined us for this one. What were your thoughts?
I did. I mean, as I do with all of these, I went, especially with the order, the fact that they were, I almost said automated, animated. There we go. The fact that it was, I think this is our first animated movie, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
at least since
this
I
is
joined the show.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the first one in a while. We don't pick a lot of animated movies. That tells you a lot.
I try to
We
do
really
one a
don't.
year.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of animated movies. So I went, and because obviously there were no visible humans, I went and I looked up like kind of who the cast was and who like the vocal actors were and one thing or another. I know we mentioned a couple of the more well known ones, but also it was kind of cool to see that Bright Bill was played by Kit Corner, who was the one of the main people he was the one who played the young version of Elton John back in Rocket Man, which came out in 2019.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was great too in this.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Everybody
It
was.
that is one movie that I assume everybody else here has seen, but if not, I do highly recommend it.
Rocket Man is amazing. It's great.
I
That's all right.
recommend for sure especially if you're an Elton John fan. But okay, I'm not gonna disagree with your. Remind me, what's your specific major or degree?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's film production, but no,
Film production.
I hate music biopics. I think they're stupid.
Yeah, he has an issue with them.
My bad.
There's not a single one that I've enjoyed ever
My
in
bad.
my life.
Okay,
Which is ironic because I do love music and I love Elton John, but
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Perfect Pitch.
so we got
anyways,
so we got
continue.
football. We got football ties, analytics, and music biopics. Those are Shane's three.
Yes,
pillars of
those are
health.
my 3 icks.
Yeah. So anyway, back to this. Prime example of what what Rob saw earlier today of the fact that it took me like what was it, like 4.5 hours to get through the movie because I have no attention span whatsoever.
I need
but-
Scoop to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and see how long it takes.
Oh my god, you're gonna kill him.
Do you know how long that movie is, Scoop?
I don't even know what you just said.
Oh,
The Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League is 4 hours and 40 minutes. So I don't know how you could survive that.
That's like the film version of All Too Well 10 Minute.
True.
But anyway, back to this. So I was very not expecting it when the show started or the movie started and Rob was like, oh, it was describing or not describing the movie to me, but kind of telling me, oh, it's a little bit more of a kid friendly movie and one thing or another. And then I see that, and then she's starting to spit out like these like robot codes at me, and these like these 4 or 5 syllable terms, and I'm just like, okay, I didn't take comp sci in college. What am I doing?
That's part of the humor of the movie, by the way.
No. I found it funny. I was like, oh, this is disorienting. But then obviously, they called they called her a monster and all of that. I made a joke to Rob, which I think he didn't get because I landed it very poorly. Because she made a comment, something along the lines of like translating to your dialect or something like that. And I was like, oh, is this what my friends feel like when they're talking to me? Which
ironic. I just didn't connect the dots.
And it was so ironic that he didn't understand that.
Well, as I responded, Scoop, my only major issue is the pop culture stuff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
which again, I was also like that pre-COVID, so we're not alone in it.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
because Shane and I are cultured.
Yes. How you doing? But anyway, so
Hey, don't.
um, so anyway, and then you go through kind of the obviously getting to meet the other characters, meet Fink, Pinktail, and then I just mentioned the one that Kate Connor, Bright Bill. Sorry, um, you know I did not do anything with regard to like film stuff like, and I don't have nearly the eloquent sort of like reaction or breakdown of this that Shane just did. So I apologize. That I'm following him up.
That's
Um,
fine.
No, that's
but
fine. We like the diversion, if you will,
yeah,
the
but
dichotomy of it.
We like the diverse array of opinions.
yeah,
Yes.
but I did like how there was, I like movies like this where there's this, kind of, there's the meaningful nature of, the character progression. There's, the heartwarming nature of obviously her taking in taking over, the watch of, the young animal. And then obviously the humor that's mixed in. It was definitely a much lighter watch than some of what we've done recently, which was kind of nice. As we discussed, recently, sometimes even very good movies, there are some movies that are just they're very they're a lot when you watch them. And this one I felt like was much less of that, and I'm saying that and I appreciated that because this allowed me to just kind of sit there and watch it and just kind of, oh, this is fun, or oh, this is or oh, that was sweet, or whatever. I didn't feel like it didn't feel as heavy to me. And I like movies like that. I'm somebody who, when it comes to music and things like that, I like having a balance of those types of things. It's the kind of movie that I could sit with, my young cousin, or I could sit with, my family friends, and it could be on, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's a nice sort of, not very intense, wash. But anyway, and yeah, I mean, I don't have like a massive reaction to it beyond some of those things. Obviously, excuse me, um, I said kind of my parts about some of the parts of it that I liked, um, but yeah, I enjoyed more, listening to what Shane had to say about the film, and why you enjoyed it so much. I appreciated you sharing that with us, because I sometimes, obviously, when someone has a specific connection to the movie, sometimes getting that on top of watching the movie itself, it adds like another layer to it. So I appreciate you sharing that. But yeah, no, this is definitely a fun movie. I would definitely go back and watch again. Definitely go back and, excuse me. And yeah, no, but I definitely feel like this movie should not have, taken me as long to get through as it did. But that's just I mean, people. I'm notorious for not being able to go to like movie theaters and like watch like movies all that much. Because I'm the kind of person who, I'm doing 80 other things as I'm watching the movie, and this show is really the first time I've ever had anything that has me sit down and really focus and concentrate on watching a movie for like the start to finish. Um, so I appreciate this sort of new experience that I'm getting with movies like this.
Yeah. What's your rating, Scoop? What are you giving it? One out of 10. What are you giving this?
Um, I was going to be an absolute twerp and say 6, 7, but um, uh, I'll say no. I will say a 7 out of 10. I don't think I'm going to give it like a super high rating, but anything much lower than 7 feels disrespectful to what I was a good movie and that I did enjoy. But it didn't really unlock something massive for me that would put it up into like the eights or above. But I did really like it. Definitely has rewatch value, and I will watch it. Excuse me, we'll go back and watch it again. Um, so thank you, Shane, for recommending it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
All
welcome.
right, Brandon, go ahead. Give us your thoughts.
So I'm glad that Shane had referenced this because I was going to bring it up if he didn't, but of course he always gets the good stuff before I get to it. But there's
Sorry.
there's that's not fine. We'll discuss it later. Um, but there's there's
We
a
won't do it live.
there's a yeah that we will not handle live. But there's not really any movies where like, and the thing I'm referencing is talking about how there's three kind of sides to this movie. There's a human side to it, human aspect, animal aspect for the obvious reasons, and AI robotic aspect. That doesn't happen in a movie ever, like animated or not. So
Yeah.
it's so because usually in animated movies you'll get human and robot as like a kind of a dynamic relationship, or you'll get animal and human, but
Or robot and robot.
robot, like animal, robot, things like that. So this is one where you're getting all three, and one of them is not even involved at all. But technically, it is because it feels like human emotion, and obviously they are the way they're communicating is through speech, through language. So it's unique in that aspect, and I think that's what kind of brings this movie above any kind of other animated movies that I've seen before. Now, is it going to be one I'm going to go back and watch? Maybe once or twice, but I don't like. It's like animated movies are tough for me because they just don't do a lot for me. I don't watch
Yeah.
like I don't like if I'm gonna watch a kiddie movie, I'm old school. Like I'm gonna watch like the classics. I'm gonna go back and watch Toy Story, Shrek, stuff like that I grew up
I
on.
haven't seen Shrek.
Oh, heavens on earth!
Whoa, wait a minute! You haven't seen any of them?
I saw the
you've
one. I saw the one that has "Accidentally in Love" by the Counting Crows.
So that's the second one, which is also
Two,
really good.
yeah.
That's the best one. But yeah,
That's
okay.
the best one, so you're fine. You should
Okay.
see the first one, but yeah,
yeah.
you're fine.
Uh,
If you've only, I know a good portion of people also has only seen the second one. You're perfectly fine. You're
why?
perfectly fine.
Why? What?
Well, you only need to watch the first two, to be honest. I mean, you can
What were you
watch.
asking me? You said why? What? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was saying to Rob, saying like he knows people that's only watched the second one. Like how that I don't get how you know how many that many people only watch the second one without watching the first. I watch them in order. So
I think
normally-
I think funny enough for me as a kid. I could be wrong, but I probably watched the second one first as a kid. But of course, I went back and watched.
And
the
I'll be
first
100% honest. I would have watched back to back, but I was watching it with my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, "I know you're not going to watch back to back of these movies, so I'll show you the better one." And she showed me the second one.
The funny part about Trek 2 for me is I watched that movie so much as a kid, like on road trips and stuff. It's
Okay.
probably the movie I've actually seen the most of. So that's also why I'll never go back
Like
and
in
see
general?
it again. Yeah, like in general.
Oh, wow.
Because I watched it so much as a kid.
Honestly, probably same.
Yeah.
what the? Am
Not
I the
even gonna
only
lie.
one that has? I go okay. I guess I have a rare experience then.
What's your rare experience?
That I saw them in order. Like I saw the first one first.
Oh,
then the
no.
second.
I saw them in order. But I'm
Okay.
saying
We're just saying like the movies. If we list the movies we've seen the most, like through our whole lives, for me, Trek 2 is number one because
Yeah,
of
see,
just
for
how
me-
much I
for
saw
me-
it as a kid.
Yeah, see, for me, it's not. It's flipped. It goes one then two, not two then one.
Yeah,
they're both great. But
they're both good.
Yeah. Well, see,
I still-
God.
I still laugh every time at Shrek, and then for you, baby, I could be.
Like the thing is, it makes but see, that's why it's hard for me. Like when we're talking about this movie right now, is to because
By the way, DreamWorks movie.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's so hard because the jokes you can get away with back then in kids movies you can't get away with now.
No.
Oh
So-
no way!
So that's why I like it. Like we grew up a trip down memory lane was we're the last generation to remember growing up, maybe the last, maybe the second to last, but definitely the last to fully remember it, where you would roll in the TV to your classroom as a little kid in grammar school and pop in a VHS tape to watch movies.
Yeah.
So that's how old we're not old, but that's how old we are at this point. But it's like so newer movies kind of just don't have that same like mystique as they once did. I don't know if that's just also part of growing up too.
Part of it's nostalgia. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of tells
Like-
this. Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Like that's why it's tough for me. Like it's hard. I like. Well, I'll tell you the rating before I really dive into it. But for me, like the rating of it was tough because I'm like I can see it being a 9, but it's like it's not an animated movie I would go back to, so I'd probably give it an 8.
That was the rating I originally gave it. I'm up, but you'll see how up.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
up now.
So like it.
No, after no, hold on. When we first watched it, Robert,
I thought I gave it an 8.
No, you gave it a 9.5
Oh my god.
Okay, then I'm still at a 9.5. I haven't moved
because I remember Phil being like, "Why not 10? Why not 9?"
because I just it's hard for, and I think my response was it's hard for me to give animated movies a 10. It's really hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an 8. An 8 for me in this case would be a 9 for any other movie. So that's still high.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, continue, Brandon.
Yeah, but like
I just thought that was funny.
because like there is one scene that kind of I thought it was kind of like jarring for it to be like kind of close together. I guess I mean this movies like this only have a certain runtime. It's an animated movie. It has to keep obviously like for kids too. So the kids obviously kids don't have great attention span. So it's like you have to kind of keep the movie moving along. But like the one part where I thought it was a little jarring, like in the shift in like how quickly we're flipping, like we're turning the leaf here, so to speak, is like where was it Bright Bill? He finds out that Roz did accidentally kill his parents, so that he can't so he kind of storms out. He walks out of the little shelter, but then so it's like obviously so he's pissed at her for that. But then it's like, why, like, literally less than 2 minutes later, he's, like, technically, like, for now, forgiving her and then willing to let her, like, then raise him again? You know what I'm saying?
They still had problems throughout that whole section, but it was more that he had an urge to get the migration part done. So that was kind of the only option, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just, I guess maybe the dialogue is what threw me off in that thing, because the dialogue.
I also feel the same way in that a little bit. But I was like, whoa, that's a little bit of a quick turn, because it's like you go from being like very pissed 1 minute to being like, well, okay, wait, I need your help, kind of thing. But parenting.
Yeah. But that uniqueness of like the dynamic of like what I was talking about, like the kind of 3-way dynamic here, and then just I was actually surprised at how good, because I haven't watched an animated movie like in terms of like if it's not old school, if it's not anything pre 2010, hell, even before that, I think like most of my animated movies I've watched are like pre 2007. Like I'm not caught up on how good the animation style is nowadays. When this movie started, I was like, wow, this is actually like impressive animating skills. Like for where we are in 2025, I was like, that's actually, so that kind of blew me away, was the style of it. Also not for nothing, but you guys might not know. Well, Shane, you might, but do you guys know who, the voice of the Beaver? You know who that was?
Oh, I did.
If you watch the very popular TV show What We Do in the Shadows, you'll know who it is.
I've never even heard of it.
I haven't seen that.
I never watched the show. I watched the movie though.
Oh, but it's so good.
I have to watch the movie and the show. I have
the
to get
TV
it
show is hilarious. I love it.
My plan is to do movie and then the TV show. I want to do both.
The show is critically they both are, but the show is critically acclaimed. So like
FX.
it's great.
Yeah.
But the voice of the Beaver.
You talk about Matt Berry.
Yep, Matt Berry. Yeah. So because it's like I love that he basically doesn't even play a character. He just plays himself in a lot of these movies. But it's like it works for something like this because he's just a deadpan British guy, like sarcastic. So like I love the fact that they have him in a role in this movie for like because every other character kind of has like like an arc to it. Like he kind of does too by the end of it, but most of his lines are deadpan, sarcastic, like comedic relief kind of like delivery, which I like. So I like, yeah, but it leans into the whole how the voice cast in general is just so good at what they do. Like, but that's the thing is like, you can almost look at a lot of different animated movies these days and be like, wow, they're just putting together an ensemble cast of just good voices to act. But it's like, but this one doesn't just have a good cast. Like this one has a lot of people that aren't as well known. And then it also like so it's got a good mix, and not only does it have a good mix, but the amount of range that these characters like because in other animated movies you don't need that much range. It's kind of like a basic story. This is not a basic story. This is an original. This is a unique kind of story dynamic, like
based on a book, by the way, but still very very original for film, I would say.
Yeah,
Right.
It's different. So it's like in that way, the voice cast kind of gets like a leg up on all the other animated movies that kind of came before it because it's just not a straightforward story. So it's definitely like for those reasons, it's like I'm saying, my 8 is basically a 9 if it was a regular film. So it's like it's just animated movies are kind of just tough for me. But like I think it's got a little bit of everything too. It has some like it has a couple like horror aspects in terms of like when the weather kind of changes and like you gotta get
that first lightning strike is still pretty jarring. I like that. It's
like for a little kid that's scary. So like you get a little bit of that kind of horror like jump scare element. You get a lot of like humor in it. You get some action in it. You get a lot of like sweet moments. Like you get a lot of things, a lot of emotions wrapped up into a movie, which is another thing that animated movies are missing a lot of today. It's just, you don't get that. So, for all these kind of reasons, it's why I have to give it an 8, which, like I'm saying, it's high for me because it's just something that really hasn't been done before. And it's like if I rewatch it, I'll probably appreciate it even more, and I probably will rewatch it. But I'm just like, looking at this, like it's the nostalgia and the bias in me to be like, oh, Shrek is better. Oh, Toy Story is better. Like that's what I grew up on. That's what we grew up on. So like, it's like, I can't resist, when I hear You've Got a Friend in Me in the teaser trailer for Toy Story 5, I'm gonna get excited. That is what it is. But
and ironically, that's about a tablet.
Yeah, and they're fighting an iPad this time. I love it.
They're fighting an iPad. What?
Yeah, they are. They're literally fighting an iPad. This was rumored years ago.
They're fighting
That's
an
the
iPad.
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
They're fighting a lily pad, which, by the way, is a thing.
It's a tablet. Yeah, it's an actual thing. It is.
I gotta Google that because I ain't never heard of that.
Oh, it's fantastic! Oh, I'm gonna love this for its sheer stupidity. Because Toy Story, it should have ended after 3. Everybody knows that.
It should have ended after 3, but I loved 4, and I was like, "This is great. 4 is great."
I saw 4 in the theaters with my mom.
I saw 4 in the theaters with the same girlfriend I mentioned, and the Forky jump scare. I yelled. I jumped and yelled. And literally jumped out of my seat, and she was next to me, laughing her ass off at me. And
I mean, to be fair, it was a jump scare. And you texted me when I sent it. You texted us when I sent the trailer. There better not be a Forky jump scare, and I was like, well, it's not going to happen because Forky's part of the crew. If anything, the jump scare is going to be from the tablet. So prepare for a tablet one.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, bro, you have to live the rest of your life knowing you got a jump scare from a plastic fork.
See, my mom loved that character so much when we
So did
saw
I.
it in theaters because of just
a great
how
movie.
random because the sheer crackhead energy that Forky has that
Trash!
that that,
Trash!
that she that she actually I have a T-shirt of Forky in my closet.
Can you
I
get it?
actually
I
do.
didn't know that they made those.
They do, yeah, it says like the line, well, why am I here? Like when he says that in the movie, and it's like I literally have a Forky T-shirt. It's not up here right now on me. It might be
Damn.
downstairs, but I
That's
have
fine.
it. But either way, like
I loved Key and Peele in that movie. By the
yeah,
way.
yeah. See, Toy Story can't go wrong when when your two main toys are voiced by Tim Allen and Tom Hanks. Like you can't go wrong there.
Okay, don't kill me. He's the one who Tim Allen's the one who was Tim the Toolman Taylor in Home Improvement, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
and Santa Claus.
Yes. In the
And
Santa
what was
Claus.
he Santa Claus in?
The Santa
And
Claus.
Santa Claus.
There's a movie called The Santa Claus?
Oh God!
God damn it!
Oh, sorry.
And we're gonna make
I'm-
Scoop watch Bad Santa. Can we switch it to the Santa Claus?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing with you, not at you. I just want to
you
make
know,
You're
Wait,
right.
hold on. Wait,
You know
Brandon,
what's
Brandon,
crazy?
does that make us switch our movie? Are we doing the Santa Claus because Scoop hasn't seen it?
No, got to do Bad Santa.
We have to do Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's so much fun.
Yeah, Bad Santa's.
Bad
We have to do Bad Santa. We're not
But-
we're not gonna do Bad Santa.
I'm just surprised that Scoop knows what our like what most people like kind of lesser know him for than the thing that he's pretty much known for.
You know my
What's the
Paul the guy from the
Trace.
Beatles.
McCartney?
Paul McCartney.
You know my Paul,
wait. Do you blank on his last name, or do you just not know his last name?
I blanked on it.
Good.
I shorted out.
Okay,
I shorted
good.
out.
I was about to say, if you don't know,
No, I shorted out. I promise you I know Paul McCartney's name.
Scoop, every time we do a movie and you watch it with us, you short one of us out. That's what
Oh,
ends up happening.
I shorted out. I mean, to be fair, you remember a few. I mean, I shorted on Victor Wembanyama's name during my show once. Like it's just names are just really bad. But anyway, I you know my Paul McCartney story.
What?
I was doing trivia at Seton Hall my freshman year. I was at a trivia night, and they asked,
Oh yeah.
what are the two bands that Paul McCartney was in? And I knew the Wings and forgot the Beatles.
I forgot the Wings. I forget the Wings, not the Beatles.
No way.
I forgot the Beatles.
That's that. Oh my god. I mean, okay.
We're actually gonna do this over the summer. I'm gonna make Scoop start a new podcast. Say, learn pop culture with Scoop the podcast.
Oh my god, we should. That's a great idea. That's such a good idea.
We just make him watch all these movies. I want to start with the MCU. I want to get that out of the way. I want to get all these movies that he knows nothing about and just save him from help him get a girlfriend by learning pop culture stuff he needs to know.
Oh god, man.
And we live stream in real time because I know I'll say some ridiculous shit during the
Oh
movie.
my god. Okay, so yeah, okay. Wow, Robot, 8 out of 10. I can't say anything else. I think I've said all I needed to say about the movie. I'm trying to think in my head if there's anything I missed about the movie.
You've never seen Santa Claus, but you hate Elf? How is this possible?
I don't find Elf to be a funny movie, but I also don't find Will Ferrell to be a funny actor.
That's
I love Elf.
And we're doing a Will Ferrell movie soon. That's really good.
See, here's the thing. I like Will Ferrell because in me and Robert's hometown, we have a bit of a soft spot for him here because he co-owns a bar in our little town up here in the
cool.
PNW.
Yeah. What is it called again?
I'm not going to say on air, but
okay, yeah, don't do that.
I'll message you guys. Yeah. But yeah, I don't need to dox us anymore.
Oh yeah,
Um,
okay. Now I understand. I thought you were going to say it was some sort of like R-rated name. I was like, for a bar?
no. But anyways, he comes by. He owns it with like, or not. He doesn't own it. He owns it with some other guys. And I don't know. A couple years ago, he was there with Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez, just like
Yeah.
hanging out. I think Rick Steves was there. I don't know. It was just like
Rick Steves.
Yeah.
I don't know who that
Rick
is. I know who the other two are.
Rick Steves. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick Rick Steves rant really quick. Just give me a moment here, please. Our public transit system paid Rick Steves to talk about all of our junk ass suburbs and why you should travel to them on our transit system. He's like, come to the Alderman Mall and go shopping. The Alderman Mall sucks. I've worked there for years. It sucks. It's such a wasteful mall. He's like, come to the mall.
it's not that bad.
Oh, both of you going to fight about your local mall? Fantastic.
Although
I work there, and I wanted to punch I worked. Hang on, I'm getting there because I told this story. I worked there, and I wanted to punch a bunny every day.
It is so random.
We had a giant. So like in every mall, you have Santa, right? Well, we also have every April we have a giant bunny. And I used to work right by the place where this giant bunny, and he's like, and one time I walk into work and he's just waving at me, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. It's like that thing. I don't know if I told this story on the podcast. This is like,
I thought you just hated your job so much that you wanted to punch a random rabbit.
No.
That would have been a great story.
But I have this big thing with like certain mascots. Like since I was 12 years old, I wanted to punch Ronald McDonald square in the face. He just annoys the hell out of me like that. Like so we went
That was
for
me
some
with the
reason.
Cat in the Hat when I was younger.
Oh my god, Brandon, we need to make Scoop watch the Bad Cat in the Hat movie that you made me watch. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
There was like a Cat in the Hat standee in this place called Borders that used to be the bookstore near where I used to live.
I miss Borders so much.
Oh, I didn't know it was nationwide. Okay, so
yeah.
But
I've never heard of
that. They used to have finally something I've heard of that you haven't. But there used to be one, and I'm not kidding. He was probably 12 feet tall, and of course, me it's that size. I'm like a third of that size when I was that age, and he used to freak the crap out of me because he was like just cardboard life size of this thing right when you first walk in the door, and it would freak me out every time.
Yeah. No, Ronald McDonald, number one, for some reason decided to make his face punchable. Like it just looks like a face you would want to punch. It's the only thing in the world that I think about that way.
I mean, to be fair, Ronald McDonald didn't decide to make his face punchable. McDonald did.
I was just gonna say, like he decided, like he got plastic surgery or something.
McDonald himself had no input. The corporation.
But the thing is, and by the way, this is not a dig at the Ronald McDonald House. I respect the Ronald McDonald House. It's probably one of the only good things McDonald's has ever done. I'm sorry for all the people, including me, who decide on getting medium fries instead of donating to that place. I'm very sorry. If you have McDonald's rewards, you know about that. Sadly, we always choose the fries. Sad. Anyway, it's sad.
About, so.
I was gonna say what?
Okay, so there's this thing. So you know about McDonald's rewards, right? You can when you get like a certain amount of like you get rewards points for like eating at McDonald's or whatever. When you get like a certain amount of points, you can get a medium fry or like donate $5 to the Ronald McDonald House, and everyone chooses the fries.
Well, that sucks because
it sucks.
I don't eat there enough to have gotten to ask that question.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that's a very loaded question because it's like, how bad do you have to be to eat there that much? First of all, but then to eat there that much to be asked that question. So, like,
It's like 30,000 points. You have to eat there
oh my
a
God,
lot.
how much McDonald's are you consuming? Wait a minute.
No, it wasn't me. I just found it on another person's account. I always get to like 1,000 points.
30,000 points. Oh my
How
God.
did we get here from talking about Wild Robot?
I don't know.
Okay,
my
wait,
question.
The only reason I ate more at McDonald's recently is because they had their Monopoly promotion going.
Yes. And so, which by the way, if you guys haven't seen that FBI sting about that from years ago when they first did it, I think it's an HBO documentary. It's great.
Huh?
There's an HBO documentary, Scoop. You need to watch this.
I don't have HBO.
Or just find it online.
Okay.
It's so why the McDonald's promotion ended is because there was a massive FBI sting where everyone knew where the $1 million checks were going, and they were going to. It was like a pyramid scheme, and
I remember
McDonald's got in
that part of
huge
it,
trouble. McDonald's got in huge trouble for that. It's amazing. It's an amazing documentary. Anyway, back to why I want to punch Ronald McDonald's face so badly. So hold on.
Forget the movie at this point. We're talking about McDonald's.
So I was 12 years old during Romania, and this fucking thing was like walking around and playing with kids and being obnoxious and weird. And I was like, oh, man, I wonder how much damage I can put in that guy's noggin right now. And so I've thought about that my whole life because that he was just so annoying, and I was like, little kids actually hang out with this stupid clown that looks like he wants to murder you every day. Like, get out of here. Anyway, Wild Robot. Brandon, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm waiting on you to give your review of this, because the three of us have been sitting here for the last 15 minutes listening to how much you either hate Ronald McDonald, how you know about the question that they ask people if you'd like to donate $5 or a medium fry. Like, honestly, at this point, if you worked there, I would not be shocked.
I've applied and got rejected.
How do you get rejected from McDonald's? Wait a minute. How does one get rejected from a fast food place when they always need help? How is that possible?
Hey, I've got rejected from Starbucks too.
Well,
Were you overqualified?
Yeah, it's overqualified.
was that what they said?
Yeah.
Did they actually?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the hell? God, can we please talk about the movie?
You should have applied to fix their ice cream machines.
Yeah, I'm an ice cream technician.
Okay, you know why they can't get their ice cream machines fixed? It's a hot topic.
Because they don't want to.
No, because it's run by a separate company that they don't have good communication with. They just leave it broken the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
I'm holding my remote right now. My remote.
The last thing I want to know, is when I walk into a McDonald's and I'm desperate to eat, the last thing I want to know is the lore behind the broken ice cream.
Brandon's broken.
You can't tell me it hasn't crossed your mind at some point in your life. Like,
Well, the last thing I need to know is the lore. I'm gonna ask the cashier. So really, what's the real story? What investigative journalism would I be doing? Asking the cashier. So what's the real story behind your broken ice cream machine? Because the answer I'm gonna get is I don't know. I just want.
I got this job because apparently I'm not overqualified for it.
Please talk about the movie, please.
Yes. Oh my god.
all right, good night, guys.
Wait, hold on. I can't. Brandon's so dead. Brandon's more dead than he is when he's talking about Kevin Patullo.
That's pretty difficult.
There are many pains. No, listen. This is funny. That man brings me physical and emotional pain. There's a difference. Like, I can handle this. I can't handle that. That needs to be dealt with by the team, or I will personally deal with it by the end of the season. So, go ahead, talk about the movie.
Okay. 9.5. Chris Sanders did this of Lilo and Stitch fame and How to Train Your Dragon fame. And by the way,
a little bit Lilo and Stitchy.
yeah, it definitely does. He's working on a sequel apparently to this film, so I don't think it needs one, but I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I can't finish my point. I'm still laughing too hard. God damn it. Okay. Composure.
Tears coming out of my eyes.
Composure. Okay. Composure, or else I'm going to actually have to go punch a mascot. KK. But overall, like, the themes are amazing. I love the acting performances. I think what keeps coming back to me is the acting. But the thing is, with animated films, just like Brandon said, when I like started really getting into movies, I was like, I can only really do animated, and then I like exploded from there. Like, it's a good starting point, right? Because I was always scared of movies as a kid because of Jumanji. Like, the old Jumanji movies scared the shit out of me as a kid.
I've
never seen it. Yeah. Anyway, so that kind of tore me off movies for a while, and then I started kind of getting back into it with animated stuff, and then we're here now where I'm gonna see Avatar 3 in fucking 3D in like a few weeks. But like this, it's like for almost any animated movie. Like, I even love the Spider-Man animated stuff, right? Into and Across the Spider-Verse. The only reason I went back and watched Into the Spider-Verse was because the new one was coming out. That was the only reason I rewatched it. It's a great film, but I just never have the urge to go back to it, right? That's the case for most animated films. But when I know I love an animated film is when I can go back and rewatch it and go, oh, I can just relax and watch this for 2 hours and have a good time. Right? And like, that was this movie for me, where I was like, the second watch, I was like, oh, I can really just relax and enjoy this and like think about these different things, but like just enjoy the acting, just enjoy the animation style, just enjoy the expressions on the animals' faces, the camaraderie, all these different things. And that's where it hit me how much I love this film. And it's the only animated film. I keep forgetting. I need to actually make the whole list. It's the only animated film on my list of movie theater regrets when it came out. I regret not seeing this when it came out. I really regret it. Like because it's just that good. It really is.
I only have one,
which is
Interstellar.
Yeah. That's
I actually did see that one.
I saw it in IMAX. That's crazy. I saw it in IMAX because I watched it previously at home, and then I saw it for the 10th anniversary in IMAX.
I saw it at a drive-in.
So a Christopher Nolan movie at a drive-in is a really weird experience, but that is cool. Anyway, no, but overall, I just love this movie. It's great. I'll definitely watch it again at some point soon, because with my godbrother and godsister who like are of age watching these kind of movies.
Nice.
It's it's fantastic. Casting great, animation great, just such a joy as a whole. And yeah, that's kind of my overall review, really, because you guys kind of said everything. To me, it's just one of those animated movies that's so joyful that I can absolutely go back to it multiple times. Well,
right.
That's what I got there.
Guess what's next week for the movie?
Oh my God, what is it?
Robert, you've been waiting years for it. We're doing 310 to Yuma.
Can I pause? Pause for a moment. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh God.
I know exactly what's going to happen.
That's not a movie that just he was waiting for. I remember when you suggested that, I'm like, yes, can we please do that? Because I love that movie.
Yes.
Wait,
Finally
say the name of it again?
310 to Yuma.
It's a western. It's a
show
western. Yeah, it's a western with Christian Bale.
Oh,
And,
cool.
And
Russell Crowe. Right?
yeah, Russell Crowe. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds fire.
it's really good. It's a really damn good movie.
Okay, so the story goes.
Oh boy.
So the story goes. I was inspired by Sean Chandler talks about and a lot of other like movie YouTubers to start a Blu-ray and 4K collection. Haven't started the 4K one yet. Started the Blu-ray one. My first two pickups were Inception. And because Shane said, hey, we're going to do this movie on the show, I picked up 310 to Yuma. It's been 3 years and I haven't opened the case. Because I've been waiting for Shane to say we're going to watch it. And I've been waiting for like at least 2 to 3 years to watch this movie. And it's my second of my very small Blu-ray DVD collection.
Because
So I'm very excited. I'm very excited for
Because-
this.
the reason it was delayed is because the first 2 years I wanted to do more classic westerns,
Yeah,
like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, you know. So then now I'm finally like, okay, it's time.
This DVD, this disc, because when did this movie come out originally?
like
07.
07. You can tell because it says 1080p beyond high definition. That's what we used to call 1080p back in the day. Beyond high definition. It's still on this disc. Yeah, 2007.
That's
It
funny.
says right here.
I remember
But yeah.
when Blu-ray used to be like the most intensely new
Yeah,
technology available.
we're old. We're getting old.
And you know what? I'm still one of the people that prefers Blu-ray over streaming because streaming compresses it way too much.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It compresses everything. So
Yeah.
absolutely Blu-ray. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Blu-ray hits. And I think I paid like $3 or $4 for this.
Yeah,
and I
Shane,
haven't been able to use it
yeah,
because
Shane knows that Rob and I have been acting like little children, like begging their father to bring us like toys for Christmas because it's like that's the movie we've wanted to do for the last like 2 years. I'm like, when are we doing it? When?
yeah,
are we
like
doing
again,
it?
I said 2-3 years. I bought the disc waiting for it because I've never seen it, and I'm finally gonna get to open this case this week. Thank God.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna
What
love it.
what streaming thing is this on?
What is it on?
It used to be. It used to be on Prime. I don't think it is anymore.
Okay.
It used to be.
Somewhere.
It's on Peacock now, actually.
Nobody uses it.
Yeah, I don't have the Peacock.
Yeah, I'll help you guys out with that. Don't worry.
Right on, thank you.
I don't need it. I could watch it on my own.
But this is directed by James Mangold, which I'm very excited about too. But yeah, we've been waiting for this. There's the disc in full glory. Thank God we finally get to get this done. I'm very excited for that. Yay.
I'm gonna tell you right. I'm gonna spoil it right now. My rating's gonna be. This is gonna be one of the highest ratings I give all year. I love this movie to death. That movie is going to be literally, probably, if not the highest, probably the second highest. This is going in my top 3 by the end of the year, at least.
Which is funny because before the season started, I joked that I should make this the week 1 movie, and you said, "Well, if that's the case, it's not going to be my top movie."
Because because the thing is, I know you can do better. But the fact that we're situating it somewhere in the middle of the season, now I'm more hopeful. Like,
Yeah.
because when you start off with 310 to Yuma, you're starting off with a bang, so it has to go up from there. Like,
Because every year we've done this, the week 1 movie always gets a high rating from Brandon at the end of the year.
it
So
does.
Shane was very
It's been his number 1 movie both years.
because it's left that big. Well, first of all, like Sicario was great, and then what was the other one? Collateral.
Collateral last year's week 1. What was week 1 this year again?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
That's gonna be up there. It's not gonna be number 1, but it's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up there. because it appeals to me. I'm the only one here that was a journalism major.
What do you mean I was? Well,
Well, no, you did more than that though, didn't you?
I did media and communications. I did
That's what I'm
full
saying.
media. Yeah.
Yeah. I like. But wait, but did you do both, or did you just do? Was it media and communications?
It was media and communications, but I also did journalism stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say because
You know.
I strictly did nothing but journalism. So
I was the weird part about my school is I could never. This is gonna sound really stupid, and you're right to think so. I could never actually take the journalism class at my school. One, because it was always full, and two,
Yeah.
because it was not part of the media and communications full curriculum,
that's
which makes
weird.
no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is.
So
that is in fact-
I was always pretty locked out from taking that class. I took adjacent classes, but I never took like journalism 101.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I had to wait for like 2 years to take journalism classes because I kept getting freezed out by the upperclassmen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I know.
Well, that's our movie. I'm really excited to finally get into this. This is going to be hype. But yeah, I'm so hyped for that. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do that next Monday because next Monday we also have a really crappy game. Panthers at 49ers. Yay. Oh my God. Panthers have been better of late, but they're not interesting enough for primetime.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No.
And then the week after that is Giants Patriots, so it doesn't get any better.
I guess the old people in charge of doing the primetime games still believe somewhere out there because they've been living under a rock since 2010 that Eli Manning and Tom Brady are still the quarterbacks.
You know the process of national TV, right? Like how games get put on national TV.
You've told me before.
It's a draft.
Yeah.
The executives do a draft. And they draft some of the dumbest games you could ever imagine. All because the NFL and it's also because the NFL wants to showcase as much of the league as possible. But nobody should care because the NFL makes so much money anyway and gets so much viewership anyway.
Yeah. And we're gonna force feed you crap for 18 weeks. Enjoy.
And by the way, you know what would be number one in every draft, and it pretty much is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Even though they are not interesting at all, but they get ratings. Anyway,
Sad.
yeah, 310
right.
Yuma is going to be fun. But we'll see you next week. Guys, we managed to do a 2 hour and 12-minute show with the shittiest Monday Night Football game you could imagine. Good job. Good job. That's good. That's really good. I can't believe we did
go
that.
Us.
Yay. All right. Peace out, everybody. We will see you on Thursday for what is it? Texans and who next week? It's Texans and for Thursday it's Bills at Texans. Somewhat interesting. So
all right.
we'll see
Not
you after
terrible.
Bills we'll see you after Bills Texans on Thursday. Peace out, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
See you later.